Battle Through the Heavens God, the Flame Emperor Chapter 231, The Mysterious Well Water at the Bottom of the Ghost Town. Xiaoyan gently fell into the well and continued to descend, then suppressed the speed to a very low level, and slowly descended. His brown pupils carefully looked around the well during the descent, to prevent any unknown creatures from appearing. This well is deep. This was Xiaoyan's first thought, because after landing for a long time, Xiaoyan found that there was no way yet. At this time, Xiaoyan felt that he had already descended to a depth of 40 or 50 meters, but he had not seen the bottom of the well or any trace of well water, and there was no shortage of doubts in his heart. Yuero, why did you come to participate in this competition? As your inheritor, if you want to join that super section. Mu Feng also said quite unexpectedly. It's me. It's just to accompany someone. Yuero also smiled quietly. Hey, there are really many infatuated people in the world. Mu Feng also said helplessly, and then tidied up his Taoist robes to make himself look a little neater. The two waited for a while at the mouth of the ghost town well, and they became anxious when they found that there was no sound from Xiaoyan. I'm afraid to let Xiaoyan go down like this. Yuero also said softly, obviously the meaning of the words was obvious. We are a team after all, let's go down and have a look. Mu Feng also saw what Yuero was thinking. Well, thank you Mu Feng. Yuero also smiled at Mu Feng. When Mu Feng heard this, he didn't say much, and went down to the mouth of the well, and Yuero also followed after seeing this. During the descending process, the surrounding light was very dim, and he could barely reach his fingers. Xiaoyan had no choice but to activate his flame mantra. Milky white flames instantly enveloped his body, illuminating the surroundings. Suddenly, the red light was dazzling, and the surrounding scenery clearly appeared in front of Xiaoyan's eyes. There is a lot of dark and damp moss growing around the well. Obviously, this ghost well has existed for a lot of years. However, after Xiaoyan took a closer look, the moss was densely distributed on many unknown bugs and worms. The poison, under the irradiation of the flame, appeared dark and shiny. These little things seemed to be quite afraid of the scorching temperature, and they all wriggled, dodging the flames. As Xiaoyan descended, the further down he went, the temperature below seemed to drop rapidly, and the surrounding cold air was very strong. Finally, after another distance, Xiaoyan gently landed on the ground. With the light of the milky white flame on his body, Xiaoyan looked around and found that this place should be the bottom of the well. It's just that this ghost town is not a dry well. Not far from Xiaoyan, there is a small pool of well water. The well water is very clear, but it exudes an extremely cold aura, which makes Xiaoyan feel extremely cold. Incomparable, I have to wrap myself in a heavenly fire. Ordinary people should not be able to stay here, after all, it is such a cold temperature. At this time, at the bottom of the well, there is a space of about 10 meters. There is a space of 5 meters for well water, and a space of 5 meters is the ground standing under Xiaoyan's feet. Xiaoyan looked towards the ground under his feet and found a passage. At this time, there seemed to be a faint sound of a strange sound from the passage at the bottom of the well, but unfortunately it was so faint that Xiaoyan couldn't hear it clearly. Feeling the strangeness, Xiaoyan was also trying to fight the burning decision. The huge milky white flames instantly attached to his body, forming a pair of milky white armor, which tightly surrounded Xiaoyan. Wait a moment. There seems to be a problem with the water here. Just as Xiaoyan was about to get up and walk towards the passage under his feet, the voice of his master, the Golden Dragon King, suddenly appeared in his mind. Master, what's wrong? Xiaoyan also stopped and said softly. Since his master Dragon King said this, then with his many years of combat experience and knowledge, there must be something abnormal here, so he also calmed down. Why is there still water in this ghost well? I just checked the bottom of this well, and I didn't find the outlet and the channel for groundwater, so the water in these wells is very strange. This ghost well has existed for thousands of years, and this is where the twin ghost emperors are sealed. Could it be? The Golden Dragon King also stared at the well waterway in front of him. At the bottom of the town ghost well, there is a pool of well water about 5 meters long. Such a liquid is completely transparent, colorless, and odorless. Ordinary people would think at first glance that this is ordinary water, so they don't take it to heart. Little do they know that some seemingly weak or harmless things often kill people directly. Be careful, go take a look," the Golden Dragon King also said. Hearing that, Xiaoyan also frowned, and then slowly walked towards the opposite side. The distance of 5 meters is also very close, 1 step and 2 steps. At this time, Xiaoyan was like a burning man. Although there were more than 23 colors on his body, they were still mainly milky white. Xiaoyan, surrounded by milky white light, was standing dumbfounded by the well water. This water seems a little strange, how could it form such a shape? Xiaoyan also stood close, and found that these few well water seemed to form a circle. Just looking at the circular well water, there is an indescribable feeling. There is something looming in the center of the circular water mass, which is quite mysterious. This is. The Golden Dragon King also locked himself, and then stared intently at the circular well water ball in front of him. Try this water with your hands. Don't worry, I'm here, the Golden Dragon King also said after a brief thought. Yeah. After Xiaoyan finished speaking, he also directly stretched out his left hand, milky white flames filled it, then squatted down, facing the circular water ball in front of him. Shabu shabu. Xiaoyan is also 100 times more energetic. If there is a slight error, he will pull his arm away, and he also has his own master, the Golden Dragon King, so he also gives it a try. When his fingers touched the surface of the water, an indescribable cold hit his entire body, which made Xiaoyan shiver a few times. Xiaoyan is also quite puzzled. He already has so many flames, and the scorching temperature of the flames will definitely not catch a cold. This water is so terrifying, and the temperature is so low that Xiaoyan is all overwhelmed and did not think. As soon as his fingers touched the water surface, a chill spread throughout Xiaoyan's body, and then nothing happened. Xiaoyan also felt relieved, did not stay too long, and went towards the center of the circular water mass. Although this circular water mass is 5 meters long, it is only 5 meters long, and if it is high, it is only as high as Xiaoyan's palm. Xiaoyan's palm surrounded by milky white flames gently entered the circular water mass, and the milky white flames surrounding Xiaoyan's palm also formed bursts of ice. Xiaoyan was also startled at this time, obviously quite surprised. You must know that Xiaoyan has as many as 23 kinds of heavenly fires on his body at this time, and the milky white flames on his body are also combined with the 23 kinds of different fires. The power cannot be underestimated. The water in front of him can actually make Xiaoyan flames produce an ice formations. This is unheard of. What exactly is this water, and what secrets does it hold? Xiaoyan temporarily suppressed the surprise and doubts in his heart, and walked towards the center of the water ball with his palms. There seemed to be something in the center. Xiaoyan's palm was getting closer and closer to the center of the water mass, and an unknown smell spread out instantly, and then the colorless and transparent water mass in front of him suddenly changed color while Xiaoyan was stunned. This is blood spirit ice liquid. An extremely excited voice echoed from the bottom of chapter 232, half-finished blood spirit ice liquid. Blood spirit ice liquid. Hearing that, Xiaoyan's pupils also shrank tightly, and he stared at the water ball in front of him. His dark brown pupils moved slightly, obviously realizing something. Immediately, the palm that was about to reach the center of the water mass stopped in an instant, and quickly pulled away from the water. The next moment, an extremely unknown smell also came from the water mass in front of him. Looking closely, the originally colorless and transparent spring water in front of him also became as red as human blood. The billowing bubbles kept rolling, looking quite strange. Originally Xiaoyan thought that the temperature of the water would suddenly rise, but he didn't think that as the color of the water turned blood red, the temperature would also be lower. Xiaoyan exhaled calmly, but even his breath was slightly unstable at this time, because the air Xiaoyan exhaled had the traces of freezing. This is the blood spirit ice liquid I told you about. Just when Xiaoyan was surprised, the voice of his master, the Golden Dragon King, sounded slowly, and there was some excitement in his voice. Is this the blood spirit ice liquid? Xiaoyan also looked at the liquid that turned dark red in confusion, obviously quite puzzled, why the water liquid changed from colorless and transparent to blood red, and the temperature was cold and also more terrifying. After being surprised for a short time, Xiaoyan came back to his senses. He really felt a coldness from the inside of the colorless and transparent water. He was as powerful as Xiaoyan and would still feel this way, which is a result. You can't be wrong, this is the blood spirit ice liquid. I believe you have also felt the terrifying low temperature in this water. The Golden Dragon King also muttered to himself, and then stared intently at the red water that was constantly rolling in front of him, obviously thinking about something. Yes, Xiaoyan replied gently. Then his dark brown pupils just shrank, staring at the red liquid in front of him and smiling. According to the knowledgeable eyesight of his master, the Golden Dragon King, he naturally knew that he had to prepare a lot of things to swallow the holy flame. Among them, Qianhua, Sushandan, and blood spirit ice liquid were the three most important things. Devouring holy flames is no small matter, and there is no room for sloppiness, so all preparations must be done well, otherwise even if you encounter precious and extraordinary holy flames, your master, the Golden Dragon King, will definitely not allow himself to absorb it, and he will have to give up at that time. Now, after all, Xiaoyan also devoured heavenly fires on the Douqi continent. The terrifying power of heavenly fire and the extremely violent ability in it make Xiaoyan feel scared when he thinks of it now, not to mention that it is more powerful than heavenly fire. The holy flame? This is no joke. After all, the Dou skills that Xiaoyan cultivates is flame mantra, a special skills, and the only way to advance is to continuously devour the power of flames. This type of Dou skill is too peculiar, so only with the help of these heaven and earth wonders can shorten a period of time to achieve a substantial increase in their own strength. Although it sounds like swallowing holy flames is nonsense, this is the fastest way to increase strength. Undoubtedly, this method is also full of many dangers. To devours the power of holy flame. If one is not careful, the consequences will be ashes. But if it succeeded, then what awaits Xiaoyan is unparalleled strength. Between the two, one thinks of heaven and the other of hell. Xiaoyan knows this better than anyone else. Now Xiaoyan already has the 3 flame flowers in his hands. As for Sushandan, when Xiaoyan's strength reaches his level, he can naturally refine it. The only priority now is the blood spirit ice liquid. The rarity of this blood spirit ice liquid is no less than that of a holy flame. Anyway, because of the well-informed eyesight of his master Dragon King, he can only hear the name but not what it looks like, which is enough to see the rarity of this blood spirit ice liquid. I finally found you. Blood spirit ice liquid. Xiaoyan also laughed while looking at the blood red water in front of him. His voice was full of excitement. Because Xiaoyan knows that his list is not easy. On one hand, he is going to find his 2 wives, Sunur and Kaylin, and on the other hand, he is also trying to find out the unsolved problems of his Xiao clan on this Dou continent. The mystery, in addition to helping his master Dragon King and his ancestors to refine the body, many things are on the Xiao family's heart, which makes Xiaoyan quite uncomfortable, so the desire for power is slightly more. Because the premise of all this is that you need a huge strength to do it, otherwise it can be said that it will be difficult to move in the Dou continent of the strong man. Hehe, I didn't expect to encounter the blood spirit ice liquid here. It seems that you still have some fate with it. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. It is said that the blood spirit ice liquid can only exist in the cold and dark places, and some mysterious means must be applied by the blood of countless people before it is possible to form a small pool. If there is this pool of blood spirit ice liquid in front of you, it should be possible to form thousands of human blood. The Golden Dragon King also said. Hearing this, Xiaoyan could also hear the meaning of his master, the Golden Dragon King. The blood spirit ice liquid in front of him took thousands of dead people to form, so it can be said to be extremely rare and precious. No wonder there is some rather vicious aura. Xiaoyan also looked at the blood-red water in front of him. There are still twin ghost emperors sealed deep here, be careful. The voice of the Golden Dragon King also sounded in Xiaoyan's mind. Yeah, Xiaoyan replied softly, and then squatted down. Now that he has figured out the true face of this water, he can now find out. Years of experience walking outside told Xiaoyan that such a level of heaven and earth treasures must be guarded by powerful creatures. Xiaoyan's terrifying soul power instantly covered the entire 10-meter radius of the bottom of the well was probed by Xiaoyan without a trace. Strange, why not? Xiaoyan was also puzzled. According to Xiaoyan's investigation, there was no living creature in this 10-meter space, let alone the creature that guarded the blood spirit ice liquid. Don't look for it, there shouldn't be any creatures guarding it, there seems to be something wrong with this blood spirit ice liquid. Just when Xiaoyan was puzzled, the voice of his master, the Golden Dragon King, also appeared. You look carefully at the pool of water in front of you, what did you find? This. Hearing that, Xiaoyan also put his eyes into the blood-red water in front of him, and saw that the volume of the blood-red water had actually shrunk to about 3 meters, which was undoubtedly a lot smaller than the 5 meters just now. In the center of the water, a looming white spot of light is constantly emerging. The blood-red water next to the white light spot kept tumbling, which was quite strange, but what Xiaoyan felt was not a terrifying high temperature, but an extremely gloomy icy cold. When Xiaoyan's eyes saw the lower right corner of the water, he suddenly found that some of the water was still colorless and transparent. What's going on? Xiaoyan was also confused at this time. This blood spirit ice liquid should be a semi-finished product. The Golden Dragon King also said slightly solemnly. Half-finished product. Xiaoyan was shocked, then looked at the water in front of him and frowning. Chapter 233, Repair the blood spirit ice liquid. How could it be a semi-finished product? Xiaoyan said in a slightly lost voice, and then stared at the transparent liquid with a corner in the blood-red liquid. The huge soul force seems to have discovered the problem. Seeing Xiaoyan instantly energized, the Golden Dragon King nodded in relief. Obviously it's still a little warmer. If the water is completely blood-red, then the white light spot in the center of the water will also hatch, and then it will be the real blood spirit ice liquid. The Golden Dragon King also said to the point. Master, the white light spot in the center of this water is caused by the resentment of the dead. Xiaoyan also slightly discovered the extremely terrifying low temperature in the water. But with the spread of soul power, Xiaoyan also I felt a sense of resentment from this blood-red water. Well, yes, the half-finished blood spirit ice liquid has not been completely dyed red by blood, so the spirit of resentment in the center has not appeared. When the water liquid is completely transformed into blood red, the white light spot in the center will also turn into a spirit of resentment. Only then can the water liquid be regarded as a real blood spirit ice liquid. The Golden Dragon King also smiled. Obviously, this Xiaoyan was not lost by what was in front of him, and found the problem. Such a character was quite appreciated by the Golden Dragon King. Is it extremely cold? I don't know if my extreme heat can. Xiaoyan also murmured. Try it if you want. The Golden Dragon King also encouraged. Seeing the encouragement of his master, the Golden Dragon King, Xiaoyan also cheered up. Water and fire have been incompatible since ancient times. Although Xiaoyan knew this, the flame in Xiaoyan's body was uncontrollably eager to try the water in front of him, as if it were a magnetic force. I hope it's useful. After Xiaoyan finished speaking, the flame mantra in his body started to run in an instant, and then the source of the terrifying heavenly fire also appeared in Xiaoyan's hands. A small flame slowly stood in Xiaoyan's hands. Although the flame was small, the center of the flame slowly emitted 23 dazzling colors, and even the air at the bottom of the well could not help drying. Go. The dark brown pupils stared at that corner of the colorless and transparent water, and controlled the flame in his hand. As Xiaoyan's voice just fell, the flame in his palm was like a beating flame spirit, happily flying towards the colorless and transparent water. Puff puff. The flame just came into contact with the colorless and transparent water, and the blood-red water next to it suddenly burst into a monstrous cold, trying to resist the terrifying temperature of the flame. Use fire just to make it finished. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. For this semi-finished blood spirit ice liquid, the Golden Dragon King naturally has other simpler methods, but the Golden Dragon King is also afraid of helping Xiaoyan too much. I didn't say it, but looking at it, even if I didn't say it, Xiaoyan still had a solution. Squeak. The terrifying high temperature of the flame and the terrifying low temperature of the water merged together, and a monstrous momentum suddenly erupted, and bursts of white smoke also appeared at the bottom of the well. It's possible. Xiaoyan was also afraid that this would have no effect, but after seeing the constant resistance of the flames and blood-red water, the colorless and transparent water, Night Soul, slowly changed color. Seeing that his method was effective, Xiaoyan also increased his flame power, but the strange thing is that no matter how terrifyingly high temperature his flame power is, these water liquids have not been mentioned as weak, so there is no need to evaporate it. Haha, it really deserves to be the blood spirit ice liquid. But I want to see how long you can last. Xiaoyan also said firmly, obviously determined to fight this water to the end. After waiting for a while, we can gather spirits for this blood spirit ice liquid. The Golden Dragon King's voice also sounded, and he smiled at Xiaoyan. Well, let's see how long this semi-finished blood spirit ice liquid can last. After speaking, he closed his eyes and focused on controlling the flame. Cough, cough, what are these things? Mu Feng also coughed violently, because a stream of white gas kept floating up from the bottom of the well, which made Mu Feng and Yuero go down quite a bit. They were puzzled and worried that Xiaoyan had encountered some danger. This white gas seems to be weird. Mu Feng also just came into contact with the white gas, and when he came out to cough, the first feeling was that an extremely terrifying cold spread throughout his body. Yin-yang gossip, the universe is thrown, condensate. Mu Feng also quickly speak the formula in his mouth, and then spread the wooden sword in his hand. The space in the well was not large enough to allow Mu Feng to wield the wooden sword, but Mu Feng still displayed it. After Mu Feng finished reciting his handprints and formulas, a powerful aura came from above the wooden sword, and then white gas was forced by Mu Feng to the edge of the wellhead. Speed up, Yuero also said slightly. Mu Feng took the lead, going down first, and then Yuero followed. The distance between the two was not far, and the controlled descent speed made it easier for the two to communicate. It seems that there are people here besides us. Deep in the ghost town, the human-like heavenly fire sacred tiger also said. Huh. Mu Yingying bit her lip and let out a surprise with her snort. The aura on that body seems to be somewhat similar to yours. The fire attribute flame energy is extremely strong. Heavenly fire sacred tiger tried his best to condense and speak from afar. Oh, that's really interesting. After speaking, Mu Yingying's slender beautiful eyes moved. Why can't I open it here? Mu Yingying opened her lips slightly, staring at the giant black doorway in front of her. My little ancestor, behind this giant black gate is the seal of the twin ghost emperors. We can't go there, sacred tiger also said. But I always feel that there is something good behind this giant black gate. Mu Yingying also said stubbornly, obviously she doesn't want to give up. Little ancestors, since they have come, but the strength of the twin ghost emperors is extremely terrifying, and it is not wasteful to deal with the two of us, so we should not waste our efforts, sacred tiger also said. I don't care, I just want to enter. Mu Yingying's voice suddenly increased by a few decibels. After speaking, blue flames appeared all over her body instantly, and then her pink fists were clenched tightly, facing the giant black door and attacked fiercely. Boom boom boom. The seemingly pink fist shadow contained terrifying power, but when it touched the black giant gate, a wave of space ripples appeared, and Mu Yingying's attack was absorbed immediately, and then the black gate returned to calm. What the heck is this? Mu Yingying also bit her lips slightly and said quite angrily. Forget it, little ancestor, I will take you to another place, where there are a lot of good things, heavenly fire sacred tiger also said diligently. Let's go, if you don't have anything good, be careful, and I'll beat you up. After speaking, he waved his pink fist and left with the heavenly fire sacred tiger. Cough, cough, cough. He coughed violently, and a mouthful of blood spurted out instantly. Sister Snake, are you all right? A rather childish man asked. I'm fine. We must find Xiaoyan. The person known as Sister Little Snake wiped the blood from his mouth, and then walked towards the ghost town where Chapter 234, Purify the Spirit of Resentment. Success. In the bottom of the ghost town, a voice full of excitement also echoed. Haha, you really succeeded by Xiaoyan. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. Since it's successful, let's gather spirits for it in one go. The Golden Dragon King also said solemnly. Yes. Xiaoyan also suppressed the excitement in his heart, and then his dark brown pupils carefully stared at the blood-red water in front of him. The reason why the blood-red water is gathered is because the blood spirit ice liquid is partly composed of the blood of human death, so there is a lot of grievances from dead humans in this blood-red water, and this if the spirit of resentment of the blood spirit ice liquid is condensed according to the time, it will take a lot of time to condense, so now it is only considered to gather spirits. The blood-red water filled with a rather vicious smell, but the extremely low temperature in the water also made Xiaoyan excited. The light spot in the center of the water should be the embryo of the spirit of resentment. Xiaoyan also looked at the white light spot in the center of the blood-red water. The white light and the pool of blood-red water formed a clear contrast. However, after the water all turned blood-red, the color of the white light spot in the center also became darker. Boom boom boom. After a short pause, Xiaoyan also burst out with the power of a monstrous flame, attacking the white light spot in the blood-red water mass. The flame just touched the white light spot. Xiaoyan first felt the terrifying temperature, and then clearly felt that the white light spot contained other auras. Some are unwilling, some are cruel, some are jealous. Many breaths were mixed in the white light spots. Xiaoyan also understands that the people who died here should also come for the treasures in this ghost town, but I don't know why they died in the ghost town. He single-handedly purifies the resentment in this white spot of light. Xiaoyan's heavenly fire is the power born between heaven and earth, with extremely violent power, so it is not impossible to purify such grievances. Ah! A strange scene appeared. As Xiaoyan's flames continued to attack the white light spot that was originally staying in the blood-red water suddenly shook, releasing a rather evil aura, and then the blood-red water instantly retreated to the two sides, spread out, leaving behind a white spot of light. Seeing this, Xiaoyan was also overjoyed. Even if this blood spirit ice liquid was a semi-finished product, the restraint on his own power of heavenly fire was very huge, because this blood spirit ice liquid could be called by his master, the Golden Dragon King, to devour holy flames. Necessities: the extreme cold temperatures are also unmatched. However, after seeing the blood spirit ice liquid surrounding the white light spot slowly dispersing, the power of Xiaoyan's heavenly fire also instantly rebounded and reached its peak. Under the terrifying fire of Xiaoyan, the white spot of light gradually lost its support, and the next moment, the evil aura also spread from the white spot of light. Ah! A gigantic figure instantly floated in the white spot of light, apparently being continuously baked by Xiaoyan's heavenly fire, which seemed very painful. Humanity. Death. It seemed that he couldn't speak fluently, but the terrifying aura on his body also made Xiaoyan frown slightly. A huge illusory figure floated above the white light spot, with a head and a brain, but no lower body. The art of controlling fire, Xiaoyan said in a deep voice, and then a huge soul force poured out instantly, and the handprints in his hands were constantly changing. At the moment when Xiaoyan's handprint was completed, 9 very ferocious giant fire snakes quickly attacked the illusory figure on the white light spot in front of them with terrifying power. Naturally, this fire control technique was born after Xiaoyan entered the Emperor realm mortal soul, and through the huge soul perception and control power, his mastery of flames was also improved to a higher level. Refined. When the 9 huge fire snakes came to the vicinity of the white light spot, they stopped moving, but the snake mouths were constantly swallowing snake letters. The illusory figure above the white light spot also seemed to feel the unusualness of these 9 fire snakes, and then the illusory black pupils slowly turned blood red. This spirit of resentment was able to possess such power just after gathering together. I really don't know how many people gathered together this half-finished blood spirit ice liquid, the Golden Dragon King said, slowly in a regretful voice. Naturally, Xiaoyan didn't have time to listen to what his master, the Golden Dragon King, said. At this time, Xiaoyan wholeheartedly displayed his huge soul power to control the 9 fire snakes. It is no exaggeration to say that the power contained in each of these 9 fire snakes is not inferior to the full-strength blow of a 3-star Do peak powerhouse. The 9 fire snakes were neither in a hurry nor slowly swallowing the snake letter, and then the snake pupils stared at the illusory figure above the white light spot, in order to seek a fatal blow. The illusory figure above the white light spot sensed the danger, and after the eyes turned blood red, a blood-red terrifying energy also emerged from the white light spot in an instant, and then formed a layer of terror on the illusory spirit of resentment. This beast is so cunning. Xiaoyan also frowned slightly, then said slowly. The reason why Xiaoyan didn't attack the 9 fire snakes immediately was because Xiaoyan's huge soul force felt that the spirit of resentment had not fully gathered. In order to obtain the complete blood spirit ice liquid, Xiaoyan also you can only wait until the white light spot disappears, when the white resentment spirit gathers together. After fully gathering spirits, as long as you defeat or purify this spirit of resentment, you can get the complete blood spirit ice liquid. The blood spirit ice liquid of the complete product is the most important thing that swallows the holy flame, so it cannot be sloppy. But at this time, the disappearance of the white light spot also means that the spirit of resentment is fully gathered. I've been waiting for you for a long time, Xiaoyan said with a smile. Xiaoyan also saw that the time was right, and then instantly pushed his hands forward, and instantly launched a terrifying attack. Following Xiaoyan's order, the 9 huge fiery snakes suspended in front of the resentful spirit, also with a mighty aura, opened their huge mouths, and violently bited away at the resentful spirit. Shabu shabu. The 9 huge fire snakes originally surrounded the spirit of resentment, and the next moment, the huge snake mouth greeted the spirit of resentment. The originally imagined scene did not appear. The 9 huge fire snakes seemed to be blocked by something, and the huge mouth seemed to be biting on the air less than 1 meter away from the spirit of resentment. Why don't you give up? Xiaoyan also murmured. Xiaoyan also knew that the 9 giant snakes with a mighty aura were biting on the defensive energy of the spirit of resentment. However, this spirit of resentment is a semi-finished product, which was born in advance by Xiaoyan's activation of the power of flame. Otherwise, the half-finished blood spirit ice liquid, although there is only a corner of the water, does not change color, but the spirit of resentment does not change color. Birth is still a long time away. The original illusory body of the spirit of resentment was solidified after the pupils turned red, and then the pupils kept turning. Obviously, although the spirit of resentment was a half-finished product, it was just condensed by Xiaoyan. Facing the attack of death, it came out. Instinct, intelligence is also slowly. Chapter 235, Troubleshoot. The spirit of resentment also slowly recovered a lot of wisdom, and then faced Xiaoyan's 9 huge fire snake attacks. Even if it was blocked by his own defense, he felt a dangerous aura from it, and he immediately roared. Roar. The spirit of resentment roared, and then with the roar of the spirit of resentment, in the depths of the ghost town, the evil and strange black chi also flew rapidly, and then gathered crazily under Xiaoyan's eyes. On the body of the spirit of resentment. Stop it, you can't absorb it like this. The voice of the Golden Dragon King also sounded in Xiaoyan's heart. Xiaoyan moved. Damn beast, just born with such intelligence. Xiaoyan thought to himself, and the next moment, the defense of the huge 9 fiery snakes and the spirit of resentment shattered. Block. Xiaoyan shouted loudly, and suddenly the ancient ruler of eternal fire on his back also shot quietly, slashing across the strange black energy that kept coming. Shabu shabu. Under the double attack of the power of the heavenly fire on the ancient ruler of the eternal fire and the dragon shadow of Long Yi, the strange black gas was also suddenly cut off by a flame. After that, the flames did not disappear, but surrounded the bottom of the ghost town well and the deep passages. The black chi was completely isolated in this way. The spirit of resentment at the bottom of the ghost suppressing well felt that the black chi was cut off, and roared, and the color in his eyes became deeper. What kind of sound is this? Mu Feng wondered, as Xiaoyan's attack fell. A shock also spread in the ghost town. This breath. It should be Xiaoyan. Yueru's voice also increased several decibels. Let's speed up. Yeah. The two said that the speed had skyrocketed, but they kept a distance that could be contacted one after the other. The reason why Yueru and Mu Feng were so slow was because they were careful. After all, not everyone had the terrifying soul perception ability of Xiaoyan, so they slowed down. What kind of fluctuation is this? A rather delicate woman with 2 ponytails also stared at a place suspiciously. There are actually other people entering the ghost well. Sacred Tiger also muttered. It's actually a flame breath, it seems to be quite similar to you. Sacred Tiger also felt it carefully. Yeah, Mu Yingying agreed casually. Although she also felt that there was some extremely terrifying flame power contained in this wave, it was also the power of flame, and Mu Yingying was not weak than others. So she didn't take it to heart, and walked slowly towards the cave in front of him with small steps. In the depths of the ghost town, with the shock of Xiaoyan's attack, the originally quiet depths of the ghost town actually had a wailing sound, which was extremely strange. Damn beast, Just born, it will call on the ghosts in this ghost well to replenish itself. It's really cunning. Xiaoyan also didn't know the other situation, and then stared at the spirit of resentment in front of him with a smile. The spirit of resentment didn't take Xiaoyan to heart at first. After all, from the spirit of resentment's perception, Xiaoyan's strength was also very weak, and although he was just born, after all, this is a ghost town, and there is a steady stream of ghost qi. The energy consumption made Xiaoyan exhausted and died. But when the spirit of resentment faced Xiaoyan's 9 snakes attack, he had to be careful. The spirit of resentment knew that the man in front of him was not weak. He had obviously hidden his strength just now, and then he was shocked. He immediately used some innate skills to try to absorb the ghost qi in this ghost town to replenish himself, to obtain Xiaoyan's strength of firefighting skills. Human. Don't be proud. The spirit of resentment also said intermittently, apparently just like a human baby. It was inarticulate. Ha ha ha. The spirit of resentment, since I gave birth to you, then you can go back from where you came from. Xiaoyan also glared, and then the terrifying 4-star Dodi's initial strength was fully released. Xiaoyan said this, naturally, it makes sense, because the blood spirit ice liquid at the bottom of this ghost town is still a crucial part of the finished product. Then temper it. It is tempered by the spirit of resentment born from this blood spirit ice liquid. Only then can you become a real blood spirit ice liquid. Otherwise, the violent aura in the blood spirit ice liquid will add to the mind when using it, which will seriously affect Xiaoyan's devouring of holy flames in the future, so Xiaoyan will definitely not let this happen. Just you? The spirit of resentment was quite angry when he heard the words. It was a spirit of resentment born from the blood of countless human beings through some kind of coincidence. How can it be said that it disappears when it appears? Moreover, this is the ghost town, a place where ghost aura is extremely strong in the corpse forest. As long as the spirit of resentment continues to absorb the ghost energy, it will have a good strength in the future. However, it was obvious that Xiaoyan would not give the spirit of resentment such an opportunity. After all, the strength of the spirit of resentment in front of him was only comparable to the level of a 3-star Dodi, so Xiaoyan could handle it with ease. Let's solve it as soon as possible, or things will change later. The Golden Dragon King's voice also sounded, because the Golden Dragon King seemed to find that there were a lot of mourning sounds coming from the depths of the town's ghost well. Yeah, Xiaoyan also agreed, and then activated the flame mantra in his body. A steady stream of doqi gathered at the tip of the ruler, and then Xiaoyan held both hands tightly and raised it slightly to face the spirit of resentment. You dare! The spirit of resentment was also fearful, and under such a terrifying attack, its fate can be imagined. It's a pity that Xiaoyan won't give this spirit of resentment any chance. With one move, the 3000 lightning movement were used to the extreme, and they attacked the spirit of resentment viciously. Puff puff. At the bottom of the ghost-suppressing well, Xiaoyan's heavenly fire and ancient ruler feet rising and falling, and then a huge wound appeared in the belly of the figure of the spirit of resentment, which was obviously caused by Xiaoyan. Damn it! How do you know my weakness? The reason why the spirit of resentment didn't escape is because on the one hand it is the ghost-suppressing well where the twin ghost emperors are sealed, and on the other hand, it is also because of his self-confidence. After all, the spirit of resentment is extremely difficult to kill. However, in Xiaoyan's eyes, all this is naturally not a problem. Because when Xiaoyan attacked, his master Dragon King also said that this spirit of resentment can only be attacked from the belly, because that's where the gathering point of all energy, only by breaking the belly can turn a one-hit kill. However, Xiaoyan succeeded. The spirit of resentment had an unbelievable expression on his face, but the figure of the spirit of resentment slowly dissipated into fragments. Seeing this, Xiaoyan was also relieved. Why are you standing still? Collect the death shards of the spirit of resentment to refine the blood spirit ice liquid. The Golden Dragon King also cursed, but some of his voice was full of
Hi. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get updated on my latest video. Thank you for watching.